centered.
Lenny, how did everything go?
Well, long story short, we ran into a small issue. Everything was fine at first. But as I led her out of the shadows and into the sunlight, she vanished. I turned around and there she was, standing at the edge of the shadows, silently watching me.
Huh. Maybe she's afraid of sunlight, or... Well, we could always try pushing her into it. Oh, true.
I've pretty much tried it all already. Nothing worked. Eventually, the sun... How did...
Good. I've got the list. It's right here.
Really? Well, what are we waiting? Oh, that's a lot of pages. Oh, it's gonna take forever to get through.
We can each take a section. Here.
La Pouillade. Oh, yikes. That our rare guy has a...
Ah, I've met him before.
Did he say anything?
Well, I asked if there was someone he would... It was only later that I learned he really did have someone he liked. He risked everything to escape so he could be with her, but... it didn't work.
Wait, so that means...
It may seem cruel, but it's just one of the rules of the house. Betrayal is not to be taken lightly. We know too many secrets to come and go as we please. So, if you do try to leave... Her name's not here, huh? Well, that's not too surprising. It doesn't seem like this... Let's shift our attention then. Fremine, were you able to find anything out? Fremine...
Sorry. I managed to talk to quite a few people, but
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, I know there have been arguments in the past. Times...
Oh, those are two of the people that we met while delivering supplies.
That's to be expected, actually. Father brought us all here, shared her knowledge with us. As members of the House of the Hearth, we're also considered part of the fatui. Certain members get older and realize they want something else for themselves. People like Chaplot and Foltz are loyal to Father and her vision.
These kinds of conflicts have always been there.
Well, that's true. But it just feels like things have gotten worse lately. I can't say for sure.
You think she's been inciting them to act out?
No, not exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised if she said something to them about the darkness in the house. She's told me about it before. Experiments being run on children.
And they just believed all that?
Clairvy's words probably gave them the excuse they were looking for.
This is all because of Project Stuja.
Whoa. What's this Project Stuja all about?
Sorry, but I'm not sure of the I only know what Father has told us, which is that it's something the Rooster and Regrator have been working on together. Because the House of the Hearth was so successful in obtaining the Gnosis...
Wait, but isn't that a good...
Key role is just another way of saying dangerous role. Father thinks so too, but she's in no position to refuse. Their plan isn't exactly unreasonable, it's just that... we'll lose a lot of members in the process. Participating in the plan...
Okay, super complicated top secret fatui business aside, what does all of this have to do with the conflicts you were talking...
External pressure has a way of exacerbating internal strife. I thought resolving the Clairvy situation would make everything go back to normal. But it looks like things are more complicated than I thought. If we leave Filiol and...
We can only focus on one situation at a time, brother.
You're right. Even if we confront Filiol and... Well, Lynette, you stick with me this time. Fremine, keep a close eye on Filiol and the others. Good work today, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
even scary when she smiles. If she were to actually get angry... Ooh, you have to protect Paimon if that happens, okay, Traveler? Oh, well, in that case, we should just plan on running away. Look! Look over there! Quick, let's catch up with her before anyone sees!
Adventure time!
Over there!
No, my sword!
Oh, where is she going? Oh, if someone sees her, we're toast! Oh, look! She stopped! Clairvy!
Shh! I opened the window while no one was looking. Look how pretty the outside is. If only I could have more than this. You probably think I'm being silly, huh?
Please, help us get on the same page.
Sure. Although, everyone in this family is nothing more than a tool. Something to be used and explored. As long as you're useful, you get to stick around. Lose your value, and you're handed over to the doctor.
You're saying the knave did all that? It's just, that doesn't seem like something she would do.
I knew you wouldn't believe me. Everyone thinks she's a good person. They all think of her
Mother?
But she doesn't deserve that title. She's disgraced it and tarnished it. And if I had things my way, I'd never see her again. If only Perry were here, she'd understand.
Perry. There's that name again. Also, Paimon's getting a strange feeling. It almost feels like she's not really here with us. Paimon can't tell if she's actually talking to us or if she's mistaken us for someone else. Well, in any case, it seems like she really needs someone to talk. She looks so young. But
It's getting windy. Ooh, look at the moon. Isn't it pretty? Hey, wanna hear a secret? I heard that if you look up at the night sky, Perry and I promised each other, but I can't find her. I'm worried she's also been... No, that wouldn't happen to her. She's special. I should really go talk to Mother, but we just fought. She doesn't want to see me. What should I do?
Paimon really doesn't understand. Well, let's head back. We've got an...
All right, looks like we're all here.
Oh? What is it?
What makes you ask that?
Well, we kinda ran into Clairvy last night. We met the doctor back in Sumeru. He's super dangerous, and he's done all sorts of bad things.
It's possible that Father and the Doctor have had certain dealings, but I don't think Father would work with him. We're not really on the same side, so there's not a lot of trust between them. That doesn't exactly set the stage for a successful partnership. I did hear, though, that when Father first became a harbinger, the Doctor offered to work with the House of the Hearth. Father rejected most of his proposals, except for one.
Secret experiment? Could that be what...
I don't think so.
I don't know any details about the experiment itself, but I do know it's an entirely independent operation. The the details of the experiment are confidential, but complete I know you don't agree with some of the Fatui's methods.
Alright, that's good to hear at least. Clairvy seems to think the knave and the doctor worked together to do something horrible. If that turned out, it's just that it doesn't seem like Clairvy is lying either. The easiest thing to do would be just ask the knave directly, but Paimon doesn't think she'd tell us.
Father didn't come back last night. She's probably still near the shore. We'll be counting on you to distract. Lynette, you're with me. Fremine, all right. Let's get to it.
Off we go. Adventure time. No, my sword.
Ah, it's you two again. I must say, you look a bit pale. Perhaps if you had less on your mind, you'd be able to absolve yourself of such. So what are you planning to do now? Catch up on some sleep? Or should I? Although I must profess to being curious. Without child here, how do you plan on distracting me?
Us? Distract you?
Looks like you could have used some extra time to think. No matter. Don't worry. I'll be sure to steer clear of any scheming children.
The ocean breeze is sure nice today.
Children always think they can hide things from the grown-ups. But nothing gets past me. Least of all a little scheming. I think, well, I'll leave you to think things over. If you're so inclined, meet me outside the Palais Mermonia. Good things come to children who do as they're told. So I do hope you decide to tag along.
What should we do? She clearly knows about everything we've been doing, and Paimon doesn't think it'd be a stretch to say she was threatening us just now. Oh, good idea. Hopefully he sees it. Well, we should probably head to the Palais Mermonia. Paimon doesn't want to find out what happens if we don't show up. Okay, then we probably shouldn't keep her waiting.
Seeing as we still have some time before my meeting, we might as well— I'm glad to see you get along with my children. Being surrounded by—
You're not planning on doing anything to them, are you?
I assume you're referring to Lenny, Lynette, and Fremine. Although, there's that situation with Filial and Nentoy as well. No matter. I'm not one to discriminate. All those who betray the house meet the same fate.
Does that mean you're going to kill them?
Oh, are you here to beg for their lives? I'm so—
But don't you care about them at all? They really respect you. They even call you father. You must—
Any organization in which feelings come before principles is one destined for ruin. The House of the Hearth is hardly an exception. You could say our principles are more stringent than most. Perhaps I can offer you this consolation at least. As our guests, you two will not be held accountable along with them. I would imagine Linny, Lynette, and Fremine will be able to keep their lives. As for Filial, Nentoy, and the others, I'm afraid there's little I can do. They can try to escape, but once you know our secrets, there's no getting out alive.
But that's awful.
Ah, you seem concerned. Out of consideration for my guests, I suppose I could turn a blind eye for a little longer. If Linny and the others manage to dispose of Clairvy in the meantime, all evidence of their wrongdoing will be lost. In that case, I could hardly punish them for something I couldn't prove. If their efforts are unsuccessful, on the other hand, all will be held accountable. And the punishment, of course. Oh, and here, I believe this belongs to you. Do try and keep better track of it next time. It takes a considerable amount of time to train a bird like this. It would be—
Wait, where did you get that?
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have to chat. I asked you to meet me here because I have business. Well, time to go. It's been a while, Monsieur Neuvillette, I must say. I wasn't expecting my meeting request to be approved quite so quickly. The Palais Mermonia operates with an official—
It is only right that an esteemed diplomat such as yourself should be afforded the proper level of respect. Although, if I may speak plainly, I must confess that I did not anticipate we would have the occasion to meet again after presenting you with the Gnosis. I see you brought the Traveler and Paimon with you as well.
I'll be departing Fontaine shortly. There is, however, It requires a rather lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. So I took the liberty of explaining everything in this proposal. Please review it at your leisure, Monsieur.
I understand your request. However, at the risk of causing offense, I must admit that I fail to see why you would wish for
I heard you have a certain fondness for water tasting, Monsieur Neuvillette. A family is like a large body of water. As someone who watches over this system, of course, objectively speaking, I know this is impossible. Most of the rivers will dry up along the way. Not all rivers are destined to reach the ocean. But I would not—
Did you get any of that, Traveler?
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed. Allow me to remind you, however, few among us are willing to sip from a glass filled with tainted water.
It may have been tainted at one point in time, but not to worry. I'll make sure it's strained—
I seem to recall there being a transactional aspect.
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I will gradually withdraw my forces from Fontaine. And, unless absolutely necessary, I will no longer carry out any special missions with—
I presume I can take your words to mean that, in the future, cases similar to the Tartuffe assassination will cease to cross my desk?
Tartuffe. Ah, that thief who embezzled funds from all those charities, you mean? My deepest condolences to his family, but without any evidence, I cannot imagine how the House of the Hearth might have been involved in his passing. Of course, if you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I'm sure certain measures—
You choose your words carefully indeed. In that case, I am inclined to accept your proposal.
My thanks for your generosity. Well, with that settled, we should be going now. I took the liberty of bringing along 2 bottles of spring water from Snezhnaya for you to enjoy.
Indeed. I trust you would not overlook your commitment in the meantime.
All right, Traveler Paimon.
Off we go.
So, what exactly were you talking about? Paimon only heard you mention some rivers.
You really want to know? I would imagine there might—
Winnie, Paimon really hopes everything's going. Oh, Paimon recognizes that look. You've got your thinking cap on, don't you?
Oh, shoot. Are you alright? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on selling these Well...
Oh, you don't have to give us anything.
Please, I want to. It's my fault, really.
What's going on here?
Nothing much. I just ran into your friend.
Hold on.
Of course, I'm happy to compensate you with more.
I'll take 3 papers. Here. You are...
Oh! Thank you for If only I had the chance to run into such generous customers every day. I should probably just take on a smaller...
Well, now that my affairs are settled, we should take the boat back to Poisson.
Actually, why don't we stick? Paimon just realized how hungry she is. She can't head back to Poisson.
It appears you two are under the impression that delaying our return will somehow alter the situation in you. That being said, I could be persuaded to give Linny some extra time. If you agree to my request, I'll even answer some of your questions. You're quite...
Wait, why are you being so...
You overestimate yourself. You don't have the talent for bad things.
Then what can you possibly...
The most important consideration in a negotiation is that both sides receive something they want. Wonderful. When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the House of the Hearth.
Okay, sounds normal enough.
That is for you to decide. Then we have a deal. Follow me.
Adventure time. Rain outlines your fate.
Is it time for a magic show?
How about we explore the area ahead of us later? What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. No one comes here anymore. Nor does anyone care about... It was before I became a harbinger. And before Linny and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Clairvy and then her mother.
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Clairvy's mother by blood, but she was also the mother to all the children in the house. Clairvy was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this family wasn't a fair...
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Tevat. But as for how to raise... Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown as the king of the house the child who proved themselves most worthy of inheriting her title. It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little they would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on. Or some...
So those were the experiments Clairvy was... You said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing, Crucibina probably would have listened, right?
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a mother. To prove that she treated all her children equal. Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. Of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth.
Wait, the friend that Clairvy mentioned?
Friend, huh? Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. Despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but even with her body racked with pain.
Oh no.
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Peruere weren't children anymore, but finding any chance to escape still seemed as hopeless as ever. It was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought if she couldn't escape and fight back, precisely, death was the only way that she felt she could be free. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Peruere, the very person that had stood by her side all those years. It was a fierce battle. But from that moment on, Peruere's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came in, it was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. She was unsettled. And there was only one thing that could quell that sensation. Perhaps you two would like to take a guess as to what it was?
Crucibina, you mean?
Correct. This is the place where Peruere killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought tooth and nail to kill the moment she acted. Any conception of what was right or wrong ceased to matter. It's one of the Peruere won the battle, and became a harbinger herself. After which Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, bestowed upon her a new name.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about... It was you all along.
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, after I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and that is where the story ends.
Yeah, based on what you...
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her You see, a certain power runs through my veins, of course. The chances of those shadows morphing into a Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what a memory is a...
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we...
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time.
So if all of that is true, then you must have...
Indeed. She's a rather volatile but other times, she would hide from me and become obsessed with revealing the truth about that. Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight, they failed, yes? The reason is actually quite simple. But no matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved.
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her gone, but isn't there another way? So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. That goes... I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules, not our policy for enforcing them.
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs. Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver. Well, it appears it's about time to proceed. I do believe I've kept my end of the deal. I gave your friend...
Here they are, Father.
You gonna execute him? Seeing something like that would actually be a Lenny!
I'm sorry. I heard about how you helped buy us more time, but I still failed. I couldn't find a way to fulfill her wish.
Huh? Are you... Perry?
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Perry!
Shh. Stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first, I believe certain scores need settled.
Father, let me explain.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that, you must be punished. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments later. As for right now, the more pressing concerns are the traitors among us.
By traitors? Do you mean us?
Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to...
Fultz, why don't you...
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participants, Filial, Nantoi, Sato, Toddy. Nantoi clearly said, if only Father wasn't the one who took us in. Sato added, I'm sick of Filial was the worst of them all. She called us crazies and said a bunch of mean things about Father.
I did not! You're lying!
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. After that, you and Toddy and a bunch of other people started talking about Clairvy. You were using all those things Clairvy brought up as an excuse to question Father. We're birds locked in a cage. The only way out is to destroy it.
You little... You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo? Have you forgotten who stood by your sickbed?
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die.
Liar. You wouldn't be doing this if that were the case.
We all live in the House of the Hearth. You know the type of work we do. A single betrayal can cost dozens of us our lives. It's not like it's never happened before. That kind of thing is hard to forget. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we came to Poisson, you've had 7 secret meetings. A lot of the things you talked about really crossed the line.
You've been spying on us for half a month? Wait a second. Now that I think about it, the move to Poisson was just a way to make it easier to spy on us, wasn't it?
Filial, Nance, I owe you both my life. I owe Clairvy too. If it weren't for all your help after I got poisoned, I wouldn't be... If this were any other situation, I would do anything to repay that kind...
Why?
That's enough, Filial. We made a mistake. And I'm sorry, Sheplo. We... accept our punishment.
Sheplo, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth, how should these traitors be punished?
All those who betray the house pay with their lives.
And so it shall be.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say, Linny?
Please reconsider, Father. We all come from broken families. From the very first day we joined the house, but the truth is, none of us know what a real home should look like. I'm not saying I have all the answers. All I know is this. Killing Filial and the others may uphold the rules, but doing so will only... So please, Father.
I agree with Linny.
Father, please.
Linny, you... I also agree with Linny.
An order once given cannot be rescinded. However, given the extent...
Our weapons?
Father, are you referring to a duel?
Precisely. The rules of the house will not be altered. Traitors must be punished. However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient showing of strength, and I shall offer a concession.
Wait.
Impossible. Father is way too strong, even for Lenny.
Did you hear that, Traveler? Lenny and the others have to duel the knave. What should we do? If they lose, those people from the house are really gonna be executed.
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye?
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver.
Oh. Looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this.
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the house.
What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less, and you may just lose your life.
Off we go.
Father, let me...
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that. Overall, however...
By traitor?
Father, let me explain. We didn't...
Faults.
Yes, Father. Secret midnight meeting. Nantoy clearly. Sato added. Filial was the worst of them all.
I did not! You're...
It's not like I'm... We're
You little... You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you? And you, Sheplo?
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to...
Liar.
We all live. A single betrayal can cost... That's why the House of the Hearth cannot...
You've been
Filial, I owe you both my life. If this were any...
Why?
That's enough, Filial. I'm sorry, Sheplo. Faults... We...
Sheplo. According to the rules...
All those who betray the house...
And so it shall be.
Father! Please, wait!
Something you want...
Please, Reek, we all come from broke, but the truth is... None of us know what a real home should... I'm not saying I... So please, Father...
I agree with Linny.
Father, please.
Linny. I also agree with Linny.
An order, what... However...
Our weapon?
Father, are you referring to a...
Precisely. However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a
Impossible.
Did you hear that, Traveler? Lenny and the others have to duel the Nate. If they lose, they'll...
Don't you want to say a proper...
Anger makes you impulsive.
Oh. Looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this.
When guests are around, families are often on their best.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to...
What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the Knave?
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less. Is it my turn now?
Try this on for size.
Let's light it up!
Watch out for Father's movements!
With these rising flames, is it my turn now?
Are you alright?
I'm going in! You're toast!
Now that's more
Just
like
like
it.
we rehearsed!
Witness the power of the one.
Let's light it up!
Try to pace yourself!
Light it up! Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Everybody stand
Back. Have a taste of purgatory.
Watch out for Father's movements!
Look at us. Trapped like a bunch of helpless animals. Is it my turn now?
No, my sword! Hang in there! Rain cutter!
Let's light it up! Spare
Body
your
and mind.
energy.
Look out!
Running. Let's light it up! Is it my turn now?
is dreamwork!
Now's our chance!
Just like we rehearsed! You're toast!
Not bad. You've proven to be a worthy opponent after all.
Father's even stronger than I expected.
Let's light it up! Not bad. You've proven to be a worthy opponent after all.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Try this on for size!
Try to pace yourself!
Kindness has been seared away. My blade is all that remains.
Nice and spicy! You're toast!
Let me lead you.
Now's
Now's our chance!
Over here!
Adventure time!
Let's see how strong your resolve truly is.
Watch out for father's movement! Look out!
Just like we rehearsed.
The sun and moon have set.
Struggle and fail. Now's our chance!
Over here!
What? Watch out for father's movements!
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry, father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
A crimson moon. I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me. I believe we can end things here. It's not often that we get to enjoy the company of guests, after all.
Brother, are you all right?
Lenny!
Given that I am the victor of this duel.
No!
I never thought things would end like this.
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared to change the method of execution. Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safe...
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for.
Wonderful. Then,
Bottled flames?
indeed, they're the product of a secret experiment. Under certain... Once ingested, Searing pain will spread across every inch of your body. No harm if you can withstand the pain. When you awake, you'll have forgotten everything you know about the House of the Hearth, and will be expelled from the organization. In other words, administering this concoction will... Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self.
So, you're just letting us go, Father?
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die. And our secrets...
Even so, I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry, Filial. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes? Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to waver.
Of course.
Dry your tears, and go pursue the life you really want.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Fultz, Elwar. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. As for whether to take them, the choice is yours. Goodbye, children. The next time we meet, I will no longer be your father. Thank you for all you've done for the house.
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Linny. I'll help you walk back.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Can we talk now? I've been waiting for a super long time. You really are Perry, aren't you? I haven't seen you in so late. Did I somehow...
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little. Look, she's done speechless.
Oh.
Huh? That's it?
Yep. If that's what Perry says happened. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious. Can you tell me about it?
You never stopped trying to defy fate. At first, no one believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. Later on, you tried to run away, but you were brought back each time. Mother spared your life, but it wasn't out of kindness. Still, you never gave up. Mother hoped that through ruthless duel after ruthless duel, she would be able to crown an ultimate victor among the children she raised. But you called on everyone to unite, to fight to a draw in order to reduce... You tried everything you could think of, but every attempt ended in failure. Still, you never turned your sword on Crucibina, and you never turned... For the last 16 years of my life, I've done everything I can to fight for freedom. But now...
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really worn down, but somehow, I still think I understand. If I could do it all over again...
Is that so? Even now, I'm not sure I truly understand what kind of freedom you... But as the head of the House of the Hearth, and as the children's father, I've tried to give them the most basic of freedoms. The freedom to choose their own fate. It's something I discussed with the Iudex of Fontaine. The children who want to leave the house will have their memories wiped clean of all secrets pertaining to the organization. In return, they will be allowed to live a normal life in Fontaine without being prosecuted for their past. Of course, I won't simply hand freedom to them on a silver platter. They have to fight for it and prove themselves worthy of it. Only freedom that is earned.
That's more than enough. That's exactly the kind of life I was fighting for. You know, Perry? I think you're a pretty amazing king. I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places.
Really?
Of course! We've traveled all over the place.
Ah, that's where Mora comes. If I had some Mora, I would buy. It's just too bad Perry doesn't like wearing dresses. And Mother? She probably wouldn't You know, I used to dream of being a bop playing the lute while singing into the winds of... Those yokai you mentioned. I once saw a drawing of this one...
Oh, sounds like you're talking about an Oni.
I was always too afraid, but at the academia... I'm just kidding.
The situation was super dangerous. Lenny and Lynette were accused of...
Oh no! That must...
Don't worry. We were able to turn the situation around super...
How'd you do that? Come on, tell me!
Ahem. Okay, so...
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information... Clairvy, you've worked tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth. Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well? Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me. Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Parallel. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
May we meet again someday.
Clairvy. She left so soon.
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the Aurora I saw in Snezhn, but a shadow's memories reset at dawn. Had we delayed any longer, we wouldn't have had whatever regrets may linger.
Father?
It's Linny! Hey, Linny! What is he doing back here? What?
Father, the bottled flames have been administered.
And you? What have you decided?
Thank you for giving us that choice, Father. Lynette and Fremine feel the same way.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have for you. I want you to follow in my footsteps and become the next king of the house. I must admit, I'm rather surprised by your decision to stay. There's nothing wrong with choosing to live a quiet life. Leading...
I just... never...
You're brave, talented. You would do anything to protect...
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Linny. It's all thanks...
You're a hero, Linny.
Hero. Father is the real hero. Had Father gone all out during the duel, there's no way I would have walked away with my life. I'm not deserving of that title.
You're wrong. In my opinion, all you need to be deserving of the throne is we may have different ideas of what it means to be a family, but even without that strength...
Father...
No one knows if reaching a certain standard were required to go out. Strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their convictions will never be worthy of the throne.
I understand, Father.
Children must grow up to surpass their parents. Only then, the road ahead is not an easy one.
You've done so much for me, Father, and that kindness must be repaid. Protecting my family at all costs.
Then you're welcome to stay. As for Project Stuja, you need not be too concerned. If those cowardly business... Having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness. With those members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spider at present. Our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, a crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded. As for the two of you, whether we meet again as friend or foe, no matter how arduous the journey ahead. I hope we both reach our desired destination.
Didn't Linny say that Lynette and Fremine were recovered? Lynette? Fremine? How are you feeling?
Much better.
Whew, what a relief!
What about you? Are you feeling alright?
I knew you'd come out on... Oh! Linny and the other members have left Poisson and returned to the House of the Hearth. According to him, there haven't been any more sightings of a spirit roaming the house.
I see.
I'm glad Father came to check...
Wait, what? You've met the former knave?
Crucibina died a year after Clairvy. Crucibina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things. When I joined, though, the experiment a couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crucibina and burned...
Father took in Lenny and me a couple months after that.
It really seems like the last time you talked to her, did she mention why
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. The foundation of a family should be free, and that's what Father told us in the...
But I still thanked her for everything. If Father hadn't taken over the House of the Hearth, I probably would have learned.
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. She doesn't believe that being indebted to her should be what ties us together. But even if we didn't owe her anything, we may have arguments or...
Whether the path before... So I wanted to say thank you.
Oh, we didn't do anything, really.
Of course.
Are Filial and...
I actually saw them at a cafe, but they didn't recognize me. From what they seemed happy.